You know we be with it, we off in the hood like some wizards. Nobody ever gave us anything. Made something from nothing, just like magicians. Gotta relearn everything. Just to remember that I was forgetting. Just to remember that we had a vision. Did it all, don't know how I did it. Time to go star season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Star season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we know the vision. Star season to go and you know those crystal children. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Star season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Off on the mission, you know how it goes. Off in the system, they turn up their nose. They took all the soil, but they didn't know. Through the concrete, you see the roads. Eyes ain't open, don't mean I ain't woke. Ain't got no cash, don't mean that I'm broke.
Welcome. Welcome. Take a breath in into your unknown. Feel that breath everywhere that is and is not inside of you. And as you release that breath, feel it as it moves out of you. But feel it as it connects to everything that is and is not. Oh, hold on. That is and that is not. Just as the telephone rings, it is and then it is not as I shut it off, right? Things happen in the flow and then they don't. That's energy. And you're the creator of it, right? We all hear someone telling us that energy has never been created, nor can it be destroyed. It has always been. It has always been. And that's what we're here to dive into. That's what the unknown is. It looks different to each one of us. Why? Because we are unique. We are the other selves of ourselves. Marcus is my other self, as I am his other self. And we're seeing the same form through different lenses, through different energy exchange as energy flows. So here we go. Before we get started, this is called Masters in the New Energy. It's by Adamus Saint Germain, another channeled writing. The masters allow themselves to experience, truly experience what is called the unknown or the unsaid. You have this concept of God, of spirit, and it is just that, a concept in the now. You have this concept again, the divine wants you to hear it, of your God. No right, no wrong. Your spirit, no right nor wrong. And that's all it is a concept. It's a concept, a construct. And guess what? You're the creator. You get to either create it or not. With religions and belief systems, they become very diluted and very human-like. Guess what? That's okay. Stop trying to spiritually bypass your humanness. It's okay to be human. In the truest sense, you cannot say or define spirit. You just are. It just is. That's called the unknown. The just is unknown. And we begin today diving into the unknown of us to make it known. Our higher beings are recalling. But our ego, our consciousness and unconsciousness, as they connect together, are remembering, the recalling, the just isness. So are you ready? Let's get ready. Are you ready, Marcus? I'm ready.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I am definitely ready. And I just want to say wholeness and balanced love to everybody out there. And thank you to all of you for tapping in today at this new time that we are having this space of ascending beyond limitations, the raw material law of one study. And we're on episode 27, continuing along this journey of enlightenment, as well as tapping into our remembrance of who we are. Thank you to Nature Wolf for consistently being here, sharing love, being a part of these spaces. Shout out to Starseed Journey, commenting on the Instagram side. And welcome Eduardo, our Peruvian shamanic brother. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see all of you. And get cozy, make yourself at home, grab your hydration, your tea, your snacks, whatever it is that you like in this time period that you're in, watching and tapping in, and enjoy the space. And thank you, Sandee, for being here. I know that you're moving through some challenges in your life right now, but I just want to say thank you for the effort and thank you for being here to serve. Back to you.
That's what we're here to do, is to serve. And it's okay to serve self first. Ra isn't saying that service to self is not a process, not a path. Ra is saying service to others, meaning service to all, is the path that is what we called positive polarity. Because when you're servicing others, you're servicing yourself, because it's wholeness. It's wholeness. The negative polarity, which our ego gets to, or our higher being gets to have a taste of, have a choice of, is service to self. So self at the cost of all else. We see that done a lot. And guess what? We say, "Oh, that's not right," or "That's not good," or "That's bad," or we have those judgments on it. And the divine says it's okay to have a judgment on it. It's okay, because that's your choice. But as you're moving through your polarities, as you're moving through the shifts that you're having, you start to see it in a different light, because you start to see it with a different consciousness. That's what shift is. And that's what evolution is. And that's what we came here to do. We came here to learn, to experience, to be part of the human experience. Yes? We've come to look at our energy and give it purpose. Energy is seeking to serve. It's seeking to become form. And it's infinite. That's why Ra says, I am here for the one true divine creator, the infinite one. What works for one person will not work for another person, but that's okay. You're going to figure out what works for you in your highest and greatest good, and you're going to express. So what feels good to me might not feel good to you. And that's okay. What I've learned in the process that I'm moving through right now, and I'm going to tell you, the process that I'm moving through, I had to actually touch the bear and let the bear touch me and have a moment of feeling. But what I learned about myself is I'm not in the expression of the why me anymore. The expression of the victim stage. I understand how my energy, how I have to manipulate that energy. We are, as this book says, the masters of the new energy. And energy hasn't changed. New energy, when it's talked about, is we're looking at it through a different lens, and it becomes new as we're beginning to use it, as we're developing our gifts and our talents, our skills and our purpose. That's all Ra wants you to know, is they respect your free will. They came here so that you could have a free will desire to express. And they're going to sit back and they're going to allow you to manipulate that energy. And everybody on this planet is going to have an experience of being human. So let's get started. Are you ready to experience being human in a different and seeing it through a different conscious lens? Whatever your lens is, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Okay? Section 39. It says, I am Ra. I greet you in love and in the light of the one infinite creator. We communicate now. The questioner says, I noticed that most of the basic things seem to be divided into units, which total 7. I'm looking at a transcript by Henry Putridge of the 9, and that's in quotation marks, the 9. Maybe Marcus can look up the 9, because this is the first time I'm hearing this as a label of a session or group or book or quote. The questioner says, I found a statement by the 9 where they said, if we get 7 times the electrical equivalent of the human body, then it would result in sevenon. Ooh, that's a word. Sevenon, sevenon of the mass of electricity. Could you explain this? Ra says, I am Ra. To explain this beyond the abilities of your language, we shall, however, make an attempt to address this concept. So that means that the concept might be difficult to explain based on the language, the words that they have to use to explain it. Explaining energy sometimes in our words is left kind of no, kind of void. So, but Ra says, we will try. We will attempt this. So Ra says, as you are aware, in the beginning of the creation set up by each logos are consciousness. One logos is the sun, and another logos is the moon. Another logos is earth consciousness. Another logos is Mars, Venus, Saturn, Pluto. Other logoses are stars. Other logoses are black holes. They're consciousnesses that wanted to play in this game. As you are aware, in the beginning of the creations set up by each logos, there are created the complete potentials, both electrical, take the comma, in the sense that one you call Larson intends, and metaphysical. This metaphysical electricity is as important in the understanding, shall we say, of the statement as in the concept of electricity. The metaphysical is just as important as the actual physicality of electricity, right? However, in your present physical system of knowledge, it is useful to take the mass number of the electrons in order to do work that you may find solutions to other questions about the physical universe. In such a way, you may conveniently consider each density of being to have a greater and greater spiritual mass. The mass increases, shall we say, significantly, but not greatly until the gateway density. In this density, the summing up, the looking towards, or in short, all of the useful functions of polarity has been used. Therefore, the metaphysical, electrical nature of the individual grows greater and greater in the spiritual mass. For an analog, one may observe the work of the one known as Albert, who posits the growing of infinity as mass, as the mass approaches the speed of light. Thus, the seventh density being the completed being. Oh, you know where we're going with that. The seventh density being the completed being, that's called the creator. The creator knows who itself is. The creator accumulates mass and compacts into the one creator once again. So the creator goes all the way out, jettisons itself all the way out amongst all of creation to seek itself. And as it seeks itself, when it comes back to that point of origin, it is itself again. It is itself again. All of that to say that the divine is doing the exact same thing did the exact same thing, creating all the logoses and giving them free will to become what they became in order to play with earth conscious. As being a form body, having its presence in the spiritual or energy form, to shift and evolve, to send itself out in all of the electrical, metaphysical, electrical energy, to become form or mass, and then to pull it back into itself and become itself again and do it again. Whoa, right? Marcus, back to you. I believe the divine has some information that needs to come from you. Whoa.
Come from me. The Leo moon sign, that is.
Leo moon sign.
Sounds good. The holder of knowledge within.
Within.
The sun.
Yes.
And now I shall express it through my Gemini.
Do you want to help them understand logos a little bit better?
Yes. And the logos that I'm going to help them understand is the 9. Now, the 9 comes in many different perspectives. There are many different mythologies. There's many different councils of 9 within our galactic history and galactic being. So, one of those councils of 9 you can relate to Greek mythology. Greek mythology, the Council of 9 is referenced as the council that has basically the Greek Olympians, if you guys are familiar with the Greek mythology. So as you can see here, you have Aphrodite, Apollo, Athena, Demeter, Hephaestus, as well as Hera, Hermes, Poseidon, and Zeus. So if you're ever interested in learning more about this Council of 9, the Greek mythology based one, feel free to look into that and research on your own and meditate on it if you want. And you can connect with these different archetypes of these gods and goddesses as spiritual guides for you and tap into the different energies that they bring into our existence. And then just a remembrance too that we're not separate from these guides, we're not separate from these beings. They are beings from within us that are different forms and different representations and archetypes of the All Creator, just as we are. We're all different forms and archetypes as well. They are different forms and archetypes that reside in different dimensions than the third dimension. So they're in a little bit higher dimension, which means they're not really in the third dimension. They're not really visible to the third dimension, but they can manifest into different forms and through different people and different beings and channel their archetype through them to communicate with us, just as anything else and any other guide. So that's one of the councils of 9 that you're able to tap into spiritually. And then the next one that I'm going to show you is going to be based off of the Pleiadians. So the Pleiadians also have their own Council of 9 as well. So if you're someone that likes tapping into different galactic races and you like tapping into Pleiadian energy, the Pleiadian Council of 9 is something that you can meditate and tap into as well. And as you can see, I'll go ahead and read a little bit for you guys and let you guys get a little bit of insight into what you'd be tapping into. So there is a book that's channeled based off of the Pleiadian book, the Pleiadian Council of 9. And the book right here is called Raising Up into the Higher Dimensions, Channel Messages from the Pleiadian Council of 9. So who are the Pleiadians? The Pleiadians are a group of beings. They're both physical and non-physical that come from the Pleiadian star system. They are a race or species that have gone through their own ascension journey and wish to help humanity at this time. As we go through our awakening and ascension journey, they are essentially like humanites' grandparents. So, something about the Pleiadians as well is that they're basically gatekeepers of time, gatekeepers of the fourth and fifth dimension, and they're also very, very highly advanced healing and quantum healing beings. And when you work with them and tap into their energy, you can work with their quantum healing abilities and utilize it on yourself and others through Reiki and channels and other beautiful things as well. So then last, this Council of Nine goes more into the council of what we're speaking on directly here, which involves Ra and channeling. So who are the Council of Nine? There are again expressions that are called the world spirit, which is the collective consciousness of the entire planet Gaia. And there are collections of collections. The world spirit is a collective of consciousness, which is representative of your entire solar system, which generally goes by the nomenclature of the Council of Nine, as a symbolic archetype of the way that consciousness has arranged itself and how it presents itself in your particular paradigm of experience. This then, yet again, system to system is a collective, and within that, what you call your galaxy, your Milky Way galaxy, there is that collective again of a collective consciousness. Then all the local galaxies like Andromeda, spinning around about 12 galaxies, this forms another collective nodal point consciousness, and it is that particular level, the 12 galaxies together in combination, that represent a fragment of what is called the Gabriel consciousness. Your connection to it is simply that you have vibrational resonance of that energy that are a part of your particular energy matrix. Thus, you have a direct link to it. Perhaps it is a little more prominent than some individuals may have, even though you have it. And that is a quote by the wonderful Bashar. So really quick here, we have a questionnaire in Raw a little bit here. I'm just going to read one of these, and it says, the questionnaire, I have a question about the council. Who are the members and how does that council function? And then Ra says, I am Ra. The members of the council are representatives from the Confederation and from those vibratory levels of your inner planes bearing responsibility for your third density. The names are not important because there are no names. Your mind-body-spirit complexes request names, and so, in many cases, the vibratory sound complexes, which are constant with the vibratory distortions of each entity, are used. However, the name concept is not part of the council. If names are requested, we will attempt them. However, not all have chosen names. A number of the council that sits in constant session, though varying in its members by means of balancing, which takes place. What you would call irregularly is 9. That is the session council. To back up this council, there are 24 entities which offer their services as requested. These entities faithfully watch and have been called guardians. The council operates by means of what you would call telepathic contact within the oneness or unity of the 9, the distortions blending harmoniously so that the law of one prevails with ease. When a need for thought is present, the council retains the distortion complex of this need, balancing it as described, and then recommends what is considered as appropriate action. This includes 1, the duty of admitting social memory complexes to the Confederation, 2, offering aid to those who are unsure how to aid the social memory complex, requesting aid in a way constant with both the call, the law, and number of those calling. 3, internal questions in the council are determined. There are the prominent duties of the council. They are in any doubt able to contact the 24 who then offer consensus, judgment, thinking to the council. The council then may reconsider any question. So those are some different perspectives and different aspects of councils of nines throughout our creation and throughout our universe that you can tap into, and all have similar ways of what they represent, just in a different translation and in a different way of thinking about them. But all of these are related in similar ways, as they hold counsel for representing different aspects of creation. So that is the 9 and different ways that you guys can connect with the Council of 9. Back to you.
You see how infinity answers a question? There are many possibilities of the 9. Many, infinite. One size just doesn't fit all. Infinite for us to choose from. Glorious, right? Let's keep going. The questioner says, then in the equation here, I am assuming MI is spiritual mass. M, little I, is spiritual mass. So he gives the equation there. You can't really see it because it's backwards, but I'm going to read it to you. I just thought I'd show you what I was reading. MI equals, and then they have the square sign. It looks like a divided sign. M, I think it's M0 C squared divided by 1 subtract V squared over C squared, right? And Ra says, I am Ra. This is correct. Remember, the universe is, scientists found out early on that the universe is numerically vibrational. They believe that if they could send anything, information out frequency wise to find out if there is someone, if there are others, and back then it was others that resemble us in the universe, it would the information would be translated back to us numerically. That was the universal language, right? Ross says this is correct. The questioner says, thank you. Can you tell me what this transmission from the 9 means? And then in parentheses, it says capital CH is a principle, which is the revealing principle of knowledge and of law, right? And then he poses it as a question. Can you tell me what the principle is? Ra says, I am Ra. The principle so veiled in the statement is but the simple principle of the constant or creator and the transient or the incarnate being and the yearning existing between the two, one for the other, in love and light amidst the distortion of free will acting upon illusion bound entities. So it's the creator seeking itself through form, and they are tied to each other. The creator is seeking form through energy, and the form being us is learning how to tell energy how to create so the creator can seek itself. Whoa. You go, how could it be that simple? How could life be that simple? It kind of kind of puts it a whole different light on it for you, that life is being very simple. It's saying, I need you to tell me what to create. I am seeking myself within myself to be the creator and to create. Tell me what to create. How simple can that be? Right? And the principle is just that simple. The law is just that simple. The laws of the universe aren't going to barter with you. They say, we do what you want us to do, no matter what. Holy shit! They're not going to argue with me. If I want to talk about how miserable I am, they're not going to stop me and try to convince me that I'm not miserable. They're just going to say, your wish is my command, Sandra. And that's the divine seeking itself and not making any judgment about it in any way, shape, or form. It could happen in numerically. It could happen energetically. It could be physical as well. It could show up in sickness or disease, or it could show up in hatred and envy, and the energy can just be. Holy shit. Batman? Robin just got a mouthful of stuff. I'm just saying. Robin said, oh, I better put on my cape. You mean I could fly? You mean Batman was telling me I can't fly, but I really can? I can do what Superman does? Holy shit. Right? So then Ross says, the principle is so veiled in the statement, but is but the simple statement of the constant or creator. I'm just repeating this. And the transient or the incarnate being, however you want to use it. I'm the incarnate being, and the creator, the one true creator, we're connected. Oh, wait, we're one and the same. Well, I know if Sandee and the creator are one and the same, then that means that Marcus or Starseed are the creator as well. Right? Woo. Just different versions, just different aspects, just the different expressions. Right? The questioner says, was the reason the 9 transmitted this principle in this form the first distortion? Ross says, I am Ra. This is incorrect. The questioner says, can you tell me why they gave the principle in such a veiled form then? I am Ra. The scribe is most interested in puzzles and equations. Oh, the scribe was being or expressing itself. It wasn't veiling anything. It was playing with the numbers. Why? Because that's what it came to do. The questioner says, I see. The 9 described themselves as the 9 principles of God. Can you tell me what they meant or mean by that? Ra says, I am Ra. This is also a veiled statement. The attempt is made to indicate that the 9 who sit upon the council are those representing the creator, the one creator. Just as there may be 9 witnesses in the courtroom testifying for one defendant, the term principle, and that's in parentheses, has this meaning also. So the 9 just represent the one true creator. And guess what? The 9 are the one true creator. They're expressing as the one true creator. Just as you express as the one true creator. Ross says the desire of the scribe may be seen in much of this material as have affected the manner of its presentation, just as the abilities and preferences of this group determine the nature of this contact. The difference lies in the fact that we are as we are. Thus, we may either speak as we will or speak not at all. This demand is very tuned, shall we say. The group is very tuned, very aligned. Either they're going to speak it or they're not. But guess what? When they speak it, it's up to you how you take it. That's called discernment. And free will is you get to either discern it or you get to judge it. It's your choice. Because you are an aspect of the one true creator. So when you ask a channeler or have a message coming through a channeled conductor, conduit, you're going to get what you get. How you take it and how you discern it, that's on you. The channeled message cannot do it for you. It can be delivered. You are a vessel of receiving and a transmitter. Back to you, Marcus. All I got to say is, whoop, there it is, right?
Oh, man. All righty. I have a message for us from the Yogi Tea. From this honey chai vitality tea. Be kind to others, but now don't forget the but on this one. Be kind to others, but always be compassionate to yourself. I know quite a bit of us may have wanted to hear that in this moment. Be kind to others, but always be compassionate to yourself. Don't forget that balance, folks. Don't forget that balance of caring for others, thinking about others, trying to do for others. But remember you. Take those moments through the day. Think about what you need. Think about what you need to address, what you need to bring love and self-care to. So then you can be a more clear vessel, a more loving vessel, an expressive vessel that is able to really connect, to flow, to be in tune, not just like scrape by and be shallow and not express love and not express affection. If you're in that state, take the time to love yourself a little bit more so that you can share your love and share your light with the world more naturally and more beautifully and more fluidly. Thank you, Yogi T. Thank you, Yogi T. Ooh-wee. So,
Right.
I got a video for us. I love our videos.
I love our videos.
So get ready. Get your popcorn. We got a couple minute video about the Council of 9.
Mm, Council of Nine.
Phyllis Schlemmer recorded in her 1993 book, The Only Planet on Mars, channelings with a mysterious and advanced group calling themselves the Nine Collective. Gene Roddenberry participated in his channelings and used the information to create a Star Trek franchise. The existence of the Nine Collective was also documented in the Law of One channelings of Professor Don Elkins from 1981 to 1984. Best-selling author Elena Danaan writes in her recent book The Cedars about her encounter with the Nine Collective. She describes the Nine as individuated supraconsciousness that live in between dimensions. They are known by different names, among which are the Nine Collective, the Nine Elders, the Elders of Light, and the Council of Nine. Schlemmer's principle of the Nine is infinite intelligence. They are something beyond photons, beyond the least divisible known quanta or subdivision of light, and are more of the nature of what we call soul. In trying to explain the complexity of these beings, Schlemmer's book states that the evolution or creation is complete with the number nine. There are nine chakras, nine planets around Earth, and the path of human growth is so precise. The Council of Nine explained themselves as follows. There are many who try to understand who we are. It is difficult for you to accept that you do not understand. At times, the attempt to understand colors the truth of the universe. There are only keys for unlocking portions, for the human mind cannot totally comprehend. There are many interpretations and also many conflicts about who we are. Yes, in a future time we will attempt, but first planet Earth must reach that state of evolutionary consciousness where we may be understood. Yes. The Council has said that they would not try to put us in a box. We do not exist in that form. Yes. End quote. Professor Don Elkins' book, The Law of One, states that the Nine offer aid to those who seek guidance. They act as guardians of the Nine. They currently the range of these frequencies is 98.6 megacycles. Although they have no physical form, the Nine have evolved to agree that they are able to manifest themselves into any form they choose. They exist beyond a specific dimension or a specific time. Where they is accessible through specific.
So there you are. There is a brief, nice summary of the Council of Nine, giving you guys just many different perspectives and many different translations of the Council of Nine, just to give you guys like a whole entire, menu to really examine and take in the information of, so that you may be able to find your relationship to the Council of Nine authentically for you in this creation and universe. So, with that being said, I also felt called to pull a card for us. And I'll be using this wonderful mini deck that is Work Your Light Oracle, Lightworker Oracle deck. And we'll see what card wants to come out for us today to help us in this present space. If it resonates for you, of course. Very beautiful deck as well. I got roses on the back. Very divine feminine. Okay. Ooh, okay. Ooh, whoa. Break the chains. Okay. Break the chains. Ooh. Break the chains represents ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. Ooh. I like that. Rewriting the future. Because the future is based off of the current patterns that are continuing to cycle from the past. Well, I'm gonna say that again for you guys. The future is based off of the continuous patterns that are cycling from the past. Let's digest that for a moment. Allow that to process. The future is based off of the patterns that are continuing to cycle from the past. So then that brings us to the present moment. In the present moment, when we are present, we are in the space and opportunity to be able to create new patterns and break those chains and break those patterns that have been continuing on from the past, or you can say from our ancestral lineage. So then what that does is it sets up for our future to be more free. It sets up our future to be more open, expansive, receptive to quote unquote new energies and for new things to come into our space and unfold. So with that being said, I'm sure a lot of us are feeling the call right now to addressing a lot of our own shadows, addressing a lot of our own patterns. And just remember that these shadows and patterns are not just ours. There is also collective shadows. There's collective patterns. There is family generational patterns that are within your DNA as well. And what we are here to do in this present is, out of our free will, create the patterns that are authentic to us through our uniqueness. And then being our uniqueness and being authentic, it will heal the aspects of ourself. And I say self as in the individual and the collective, with what is no longer resonating and what is now of old that is not working for where we're heading into the future. So buckle up during these times. I know it's been tough for some of us. It's been tough for myself as well. But we're warriors. We're warriors of the cosmos. We are the warriors of all of existence that is. And we came here for a reason. We came here to do this. We came here to do the thing. And we are given the power. We are the power. And it's eternal, it's infinite. And I know it's tough out there. I know it is. But as long as you can keep on taking small steps, keep on, shifting your mind into those positive aspects, focusing on growth, focusing on lessons, integrating, expanding, building healthy routines for your everyday. The more you have a foundation underneath yourself, the more things will unfold with you and for you, more naturally and more with ease. And I say this from experience. Having my routines daily has brought so much balance. It's brought so much groundedness. It brought so much eternal peace through my being as I flow through these days. I cannot stress it enough what they've done for me. Chakra balance meditation before I got out of bed, 10 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes of yoga right afterwards, another 10 to 15. 20, 25 minutes of my day. I already cleared out my spiritual hygiene and my energy centers, which allows me to be more grounded, more connected, and more awakened to spirit, into the earth. And then the yoga. The yoga wakes up your body. It stretches your body, wakes up your blood system, gets your organs flowing, gets the chemicals flowing in your body, integrates your light body into your physical body more. And through that, everything is so much more at ease. Everything is more fluid. My energy flow is way more efficient. And I cannot stress enough how much routines help. And having your go-tos, having your go-tos when you start to feel that density building up, having your go-tos when you start to see yourself veering off into fear, having those go-tos when you start thinking about those people of the past, those behaviors and those different places that you're feeling like you want to resort to due to your impulse or due to your struggle at the moment. It's helped with all that. And if you guys ever need some guidance, you ever need some tips, just reach out. I've been on a diet journey for over 10 years now. I have been on this meditation and chakra breathwork journey for 10 years now. I mean, I've been doing this stuff for a good while. I'm only 29. So my whole entire adulthood has been spiritual practices, spiritual principles, becoming aware of myself and serving. And I'm a wellspring of knowledge and wisdom. Just reach out. Back to you. Welcome, everybody.
Yes, welcome in. Welcome in, divine words of wisdom. Welcome in. Oh, my goodness, my goodness. So, the divine wanted me to read something from here. It comes to you. The embodiment or the enlightenment comes to you. Okay, so Adamus Saint Germain, the channeler and the channelee merge. They're enlightened, they said. We realize that everything comes to me. Everything. In a limited human reality, you have to go out and make it happen. But in the consciousness of things just being, they just happen. It comes to you. There's no chasing them. That's authenticity of you, and you being the divine creator and the divine creator being you. You being the aspect of the divine creator seeking itself, and just everything happening in your now moment and everything coming to you. We've been taught, all of us, there is not one of us that has not been taught this over centuries and centuries and centuries of living an expectation of life, not an experience of life, but an expectation of what life should look like, that we need to work hard to get what we want and then be disappointed when we don't. But everything comes to you. There is not anything that doesn't come to you that you haven't called. You just have to decide what is for your highest and greatest good. That's what free will is about. You get to decide what you like and what you don't like, what you want and what you don't want. And then you get to push the opt-out key called free will. It's in you. That button isn't in anybody else. It's not outside in the world. It's not coming to you vibrating to you through life, life is happening because of you. It comes to you. This is what Ra is saying. No matter what they say, life is going to happen because of you. It's already done it before. It's just doing it again in your now moment. It did it before in a now moment that is now called your past. And now that you're sitting in your presence and life is circling back to you saying, hey, we're still here. What do you want us to do with this? You get to make a decision in your now moment of if you want that to play again in your projector within and let it project outside. That's all Ra is saying. Ra says, what do you want? I can answer all the questions for you. But if you're expecting a certain answer, a certain way, it might not come from us. Because we honor your free will. We laugh when you laugh. We cry when you cry. We're experiencing it, expressing it as you're expressing it, and we're not making judgment. You are being you, and we are excited about being you. The questioner says, I sense that there is a fruitful ground for investigation of our development in tracing the evolution of the bodily energy centers, because these seven, here comes Marcus's favorite, energy centers, baby. Energy centers seem to be linked with all of the seven that I spoke of previously. And these seem to be controlled to our own development. Could you describe the process of evolution of these bodily energies or energy centers, starting with the most primitive form of life to have them? Right? And hold on just a second. The sun has just now moved into the very north of me, so it's giving me a glaze. Hold on just a second. Okay. All right. A little bit better, baby. All right. I can actually see the words.
Got it, Raw.
Okay. So it says, could you describe the process of evolution of these bodily energies, starting with the most primitive form of life to have them? I am Ra. This material has been covered previously in some extent. Therefore, we shall not repeat information upon which rays, RAYS, dwell in first and second density, and the wherefores of this. Rather, attempt to enlarge upon the information. So Ra says in the book of the first book, they talked about the first density and second density. First density was the creation of Earth itself. Second density was flowers and consciousness of water and whatnot. So Ross says, you know what? You've asked that question several times. Several times we've read it in book 1 and several times in the first part of the book. But Ra is talking about, you know, because the questioner wants to go from the beginning. But the root chakra is where we hold our knowledge of self being safe. That's where we want to start, not from the density wise. Okay, does that make sense? Did I confuse anybody? Because this is what the questioner is doing. It's going from density, the first and second, and third density is where creation becomes conscious. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that helps you a little bit.
Yeah, to explain it in another context for everybody out there, the root chakra is our foundation, basically. And if we don't have a healthy foundation, if we don't have a foundation for our physicality and for our physical dimension of life, then we're going to have a very, very poor connection, a very disease-filled and a very unbalanced connection with our physical human life or our three-dimensional life or three-dimensional aspects, which is going to be your survival, your finances, the currency that you're having, the way that you can relate to this human and physical world. These are all based in that root chakra, which is also called the base chakra. And also, when you know about the root chakra, things that cause blockages in that, which is, you know, foundational to your everyday living, is, you know, fear, pain, resentment, anger. These are all stored at the root chakra. And if you pay attention to what those emotions and what those characteristics do, they put us in a place where we feel very disassociated and very disconnected from reality. And when I say reality, I mean like the real word of reality, which is you are infinite. You are part of the I am. You are connected to infinite abundance. So yeah, that's the root chakra. And you know, the affirmation or the saying that usually goes with the root chakra is I am, because it's that first concept, it's that first aspect of knowing that I am a being. Then it goes up to the sacral, where the sacral is now you can feel emotions, you can sense the outside world, and that's when you're able to feel. I can feel life, I can feel the world. And that's why our sacral is connected to our sensuality, our sexuality, our emotions, and things of that nature. But yes, back to you.
I'm so glad we're just kind of like free flowing in this. He's already got the diagram up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
Ross says the basic pivotal point of each level of development, semicolon, that is, comma, each density beyond second, comma, may be seen to be as followed. Firstly, the basic energy of so-called red ray, and this is, as you noticed his diagram, root chakra is the red ray, right? The so-called red ray, this ray may be understood to be the basic strengthening ray of each density. It shall never be condescended to as less important or productive of spiritual evolution, for it is the foundation of the ray. It is the foundation of the ray. Now, Ra has just confirmed what Marcus said. It's your foundation. And the root chakra is connected. Its roots go into Gaia that support you, and that those roots grow and support you just like the trees are rooted into Gaia and are connected to each other and supported. Have you ever wondered why floods can happen, but the trees stay standing? Everything else around it will wash away, but trees that are rooted and anchored and connected to each other will stay there. I mean, over centuries upon centuries upon centuries. And we look at those trees and we go, "Oh my God, they're immense, and and they've been here upon thousands and thousands and thousands of generations." And you know, we can be that. We're that way too. Our root chakra is grounded into Gaia. We were meant to shift with Gaia. We were meant to evolve with Gaia. This whole playground is for Gaia and for us. Ra came for Gaia and for us. And the moment that Ra, and I say it again, when he left this planet saying we can't stay because of the distortion that took place, but guess what? We're going to be in our motorhome up in the sky, in our spaceship, what you guys call a spaceship, and we're going to wait till the appropriate time to come back and speak to you again. Why? Because they know that we are rooted and grounded and anchored into Gaia, and Gaia made the call. Bako ate shuku ute te na po de bako ate shuku uche na takia na ko anle bako a eshiku na te a tasha. Ra says, the next foundation is the ray of yellow. This is the great stepping stone ray. At this ray, the mind, body, potentiates to its full balance or its fullest balance. Ra says, the strong red, orange, yellow triad springboards the entity into the center ray of green. So you see the red, the orange, the yellow. What's next? The green? Oh, the heart chakra. And we talked about in earlier passages that some of our fearless leaders were trying to rule without tapping into the heart chakra. They were ruling from the lower three. And they weren't doing what Marcus was saying, doing waking up and having cleansing and meditating and whatnot through all of their chakras, not just the root, but the sacral, not just the sacral, but the solar plexus. And then they're trying to control and serve. Who are they serving? Are they serving all of humanity or themselves? But the heart chakra says, I'm going to serve you with unconditional love. I'm going to utilize the root chakra that says, I'm taken care of. I was taken care of from the time that I came into this existence. The sacral is I'm creative. I'm feeling me. Ra says this is the resource for spiritual work. Oh, there's what Marcus just said. He does his spiritual work before he even gets out the bed. He checks in with not just his spiritual self, but his body and his mind. He does roll call. You don't have to be perfect at it. You don't have to do it like Marcus does it. But Ra is saying, this is the resource of spiritual work. Body, mind, and soul. Tap in with your root chakra. Tap in with your sacral. Tap in with your solar plexus. Maybe you haven't gotten to the heart chakra yet, but, do roll call on them. How do you feel? Who do you think you are? It's okay to not know, but it's okay to ask. Ross says, when the green ray has been activated, we find that the third primary ray being able to begin potential, it begins potential. It begins to have potential. They work together. They have purpose. Marcus said in the last couple of blending these, that our chakras are in front of us and behind us, and they keep us in balance. They're connected. You're connected. The divine hasn't left you. The divine hasn't ever left you. The divine is the energy that flows through it to seek itself through your chakras, to get a sense of who you are, as well as you get a sense of who you are, or what you feel, or what you know. Or even what you don't know. That's called the unknown. The unknown is only something that you do not know or recall, that you have to dive into to make known. Then Ra goes on to say, this is the first true spiritual ray in that all transfers are an integrated mind, body, and spirit nature. The heart chakra. The heart chakra begins to tell all your chakras that you're not working alone. You're not doing it by yourself. Your wholeness. It combines your lower three chakras with your upper three chakras so that they are in alignment. That's all Ra is saying here. The blue ray seats the learning teaching of the spirit in each density within the mind-body complex, animating the whole, communicating to others this entity of beingness, of wholeness, of completeness, of just being in your now. Ra says the indigo ray, though precious, is that ray worked upon only by the adept, as you would call it. It is the gateway to intelligent infinity, bringing intelligent energy through. This is the energy center worked upon in those teachings considered inner, hidden, and the occult. For this ray is that which is infinite in its possibilities. As you are aware, those who heal, teach, and work for the Creator in any ways which may be seen to be both radiant and balanced are those activities which are indigo ray. Indigo ray. Throat chakra. Teach. Speak. Communicate. Am I right, Marcus? Indigo is your throat chakra?
Indigo is actually the third eye.
Is the third eye?
Yep.
Okay, so
blue is the throat chakra. Indigo is between blue and purple, so it's the third eye. And then violet is the crown.
Okay, so this one, I was going by the picture, the third eye. This one isn't showing the third eye.
They have white for the crown on here for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can pull up the other one right here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. This one's more accurate with the 7.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Third eye looks so purple, but I'm thinking indigo was like, but maybe that is. Okay. Anyway, we're not going to argue it. We're going to just keep reading what Ra is saying, because Ra is the one doing the translating, and Marcus is confirming for us and teaching us what it means. Right? And then guess what? You go and take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Wherever you are in your your growth and process of this, that's where you stick till you get the wisdom and understanding for the growth and expansion that you're in. Okay. So the indigo, let's see, where was I? As you are aware, the violet ray is constant and does not figure into a discussion for the functions of ray activity, in that it is the mark, the register, the identity, the true vibration of an entity. Marcus, can you help us with that one? What Ra is saying about the violet ray?
Ah, yes, the violet ray. So the violet ray is going to be the final of the 7 chakras, raising up the spectrum of frequency and everything else that relates with it. And that would be the crown chakra on top of the head. And the crown chakra basically acts as the top, or the container lid, to your human being, to your physical existence. So with that being the lid or the top to your physical existence of your human being, that means it is your direct connection portal to higher dimensions, to higher light codes, where you receive your downloads from the higher realm, from your spirit guides, from consciousness of Christ, and anything else that you want to identify it as. It comes down through the densities, and it makes its way through the aura. And as it makes its way through the aura, it makes its way through your astral body, your mental body, your emotional body. And then after that, it makes its way into your 7 chakras. And then your 7 chakras are what correlate to your physical human being, or your physical human life, your 3rd dimensional life. And the crown is the first one, or the top, or the lid, that is giving you that access when it's open correctly, when it's activated correctly, for you to be able to have that streamlined, fluid connection with divine energy, with higher light, with your higher self. So the more your crown's activated, the more you have that cord of light naturally flowing through you and connected. with the higher dimensions to your physical dimension. So that is the violet ray. It's also a transformative portal as well, which is why it relates to the violet flame, because it's a transformative and transmutive energy that allows things to release out of the physical realm into those ethers.
I hope that resonates. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. As we're finishing session 39, there's one more question that Ra is going to answer. And then I believe we've done about, what, an hour, 15 minutes? And are we going to go ahead and close with that, correct? With this last question?
Yeah, I got some nachos to make.
Ah, yeah, nachos. All right. So the questioner says, is this also true of all the other rays? Right? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Oh, I missed the question. I missed the whole question. Okay. The questioner says, in order to clarify a little bit, I would like to ask this question. If we have a highly polarized entity, polarized towards service to others, and a highly polarized entity, polarized service to self, would that, or what would be the difference in the red ray of these two entities? Okay, remember the red ray is the root. All right. Ra says, I am Ra. This shall be the last full question of this working. There is no difference in strongly polar, and equally strong polarized polarity and or negative entity as in regards to the red ray. Did you get that? That kind of means that they're utilizing the red ray. They're utilizing their root according to however they're tapping in and experiencing their energy. So if they're experiencing it to the negative polarity of service to self only, then they're going to experience that energy the way they're creating it. The red ray doesn't change. The red ray, the energy within that red ray just serves. It just says, your wish is my command. Okay. Right? And guess what? The universal laws come into to action. The law of cause and effect, or karma, is going to say what you put out, you get back. So if you're doing service to self only at the cost of someone else, that cost that you did to someone else is only going to come back in the version of energy to you. And if you're only service to self and only in your root chakra, then it doesn't matter what polarity you are. The energy of the universe or life is just going to give you exactly what you put out. Right? So then the questioner says, is this also true of the other rays? Ra says, I am Ra. We shall answer briefly. You may have further questions, another working. So in another session, you can ask more questions about it. He goes on to say, or they go on to say, the negative ray pattern is the red, yellow, the red, yellow, orange, yellow, moving directly into the blue. This only being used in order to contact intelligent infinity. Did you guys get that? That even though you haven't gone to your throat chakra, your third eye, or your crown, you are in constant communication with infinite community, or the infinite creator. Oh, Actually, the divine said, you said it correctly, infinite community. Okay. In positively oriented entities, the configuration is even, comma, crystal linearly clear, comma, and of the seven ray descriptions. Are there any short queries before we leave this instrument? You're going to be communicating with the divine, no matter whether you're communicating in a negatively balanced expression or a positive. The divine is going to still seek itself through either polarity. It's not, divine is not making a choice. We have the free will. We have the feelings. We have the emotions. Energy is still going to say, what do you want me to do? I'm here to serve. Whether you're doing it in the higher polarity realm or the lower polarity realm, whether you're serving self only or whether you're serving service to service to others, which is service to wholeness, which includes yourself, or not. Right? Or not. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Energy is energy. It's going to create no matter where you are sitting in your chakra points, whether you're aligned or not. Energy is still going to be creating. Back to you, Marcus.
Yeah, those are excellent points. Just excellent wisdom to share to end this and give people something to really chew on as they continue on into their night or day, wherever they're at. And I trust that the information that's been shared and transmitted will be processed and it'll receive who it needs to. And if you guys want to learn in depth about the chakras completely, you guys can go on to the YouTube channel, Sacred Light Healing and Wellness, and go to my playlist. And then under playlist, click on Light Body Awareness 101. And Light Body Awareness 101, I fully in depth go into detail about what the light body is and what it means to our human being. And then I also talk about the chakras and how the chakras relate to the light body, as well as the other aspects of our human life. Now, not only do I go over the 7, but I also go in depth about the 12 chakra system, which is for another time. It's going into not just your physical human being, but it's also then going into your light body. And when you go into your light body, you're then accessing and working with your Akashic record field, your soul origin blueprints, your higher purpose blueprints, and your ancestral core earth energy as well. So another time we'll talk about that, I'm sure. Or you guys can just check out on the YouTube channel Light Body Awareness 101, where you guys can watch a full series about all this stuff in depth at your own pace and at your own home with you and your loved ones anytime. Thank you guys for being here and being a part of this episode, as we'll be back on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time as well for episode 28.
Thank you
Back
so
to you.
much for being. Thank you so much for being part of this this reading excursion. This right. There's no vibratory word that takes us down Alice's rabbit hole. Matter of fact, don't call it Alice's rabbit hole. Give it your name. It's just within you. Right? It just makes you just a little bit more aware of who you are and what you bring to this wonderful cosmic thing called life. And that you are the creator seeking itself through you. You are the creator. The creator is me, Sandee. It doesn't have to be any other name. Right now, this moment, it is me, Sandee. Yes, it was someone else another lifetime ago. Eons and eons ago, it was other beings. It was a tree, a snail, a butterfly. But right now, it's expressing as me, as you. And it's saying, you got every tool within you. And right now, you're deep diving, finding out where those tools, they're not hidden. They're veiled, but they're not hidden. And you get to sit at the seat of your soul right now. And Ra gets to help you awaken to the infinite possibilities that are called you. Thank you for joining us. Tune in, tap in on Sunday, 4:30 Pacific Standard, 7:30 Eastern East Coast time. Right? Did we get it right? Or is it 3:30? Are we going back to 3:30 or no? It's 4:30 Pacific Standard Time and 7:30 East Coast. Man, we're moving. I'm telling you, we're moving. We're grooving.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep coming back. Just keep coming back. And then let us take you there. Staple singers, baby. Let us take you there.
Let us take you there.
If I knew the tune, I would sing it for you, but I'm not gonna hurt your ears. Let's take you there. I'll take you there. Right? What is the song? Ball of Confusion? Did you know that the cosmos of the universe is chaos? Organized chaos. It's a ball of organized chaos, and we're part of it, and we get to create out of it. So come on back. I'm just telling you, come back. Lassie, come home. All right. Now you know how old I really am. Yes, I grew up on Lassie.
Oh boy.
All right. So everyone have a blessed rest of the week. I will talk to you on Friday for Soul Conversations with Sandra, my podcast. Join me then, 11:30 Pacific Standard Time, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hope to see you there.
Yes. And you guys can catch me on Friday as well, a little bit early on in the day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8:11 Pacific Time, for the next episode of Rising with Ra, as we will be exploring our higher heart chakra. So we'll be going over the higher heart chakra, doing a collective reading for the day, as well as a nice Reiki energy clearing that I will guide for the higher heart chakra that you guys can all participate in. That'll be live on all platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, 11 a.m. Eastern on Friday. Thank you, everybody. Wholeness and balanced love.
Peace.